The reunion hall buzzed with laughter and the clink of glasses, but I couldn't shake the hollow ache in my chest. 10 years since graduation, and we'd all returned except her? Lena, my best friend since childhood. We'd promised to be there for each other, always. Yet here I stood, scanning the crowd, my throat tight with dread. She'd texted me earlier, need to step outside, be right back. The words now felt like a taunt. The police found her in the alley behind the venue, her body cold and stiff, a friendship bracelet wrapped around her neck, the one we'd made in middle school. Mine. My DNA was on it. The cops called it a clear motive, a fight over a man. But I hadn't killed her. I'd loved her. Or I'd thought I did. The bracelet was the first clue. I'd given it back to her 2 years ago, after she cheated on me with Victor, her ex-lover's brother. We'd fought, screamed, and I'd thrown the bracelet at her. But she kept it, replacing mine with a fake. I'd never noticed the difference until now. The real one had a blue bead she'd always hated. The one on her neck, blue bead intact. Her apartment held more secrets. The journal, charred but legible, spelled it out. They'll think it's her. The bracelet, the DNA, the history. She'll take the fall, and he'll finally be mine. He was Victor, the man Lena had never stopped seeing. The man who'd threatened me months ago in the bar, his voice low and venomous. You're going to regret this. I tracked her to the cabin where we'd gone on our last girls' trip before everything broke. The place reeked of betrayal. She waited, her smile ablaze. You're a monster, I hissed. She laughed. No, you're a liability. Victor's rich, powerful. He's making sure the cops never connect him to this. But you're just some girl with a temper and a dead best friend. Perfect. She showed me the video of me arguing with Victor over her. Edited, fabricated, my rage weaponized. You're pathetic, she said. You'd do anything to protect me, even let yourself rot. The detective's words echoed, complicated. But the truth was simpler. She'd orchestrated her own disappearance. The text, the stage fight, the bracelet, every detail a thread in her web. And Victor? He'd paid her to frame me, to bury his crime under the weight of our friendship. Now I'm free on bail, but the nightmare isn't over. Victor's out there, watching, waiting. Last night, I found a new journal entry in her apartment. Let the games begin. The days since have been a blur of paranoia. I've locked my doors, checked my mirrors, but the unease lingers. Lena's ghost haunts me. Her laughter, her secrets, the way she'd whisper, "You'll always be my best friend," as if loyalty were a weapon. Then came the package. A small box, unmarked, left on my doorstep. Inside, a photo of me taken this morning, walking to the grocery store. The caption on the back, "Still playing along?" I called a detective, but he hung up. The system's rigged. Victor's money, Lena's lies, they've woven a net I can't escape. Tonight, I receive an email from an unknown sender. The subject line, the cabin. Inside was a link to a video. Lena, alive, her face gaunt but triumphant. "You think this is over?" she hissed. "You're just the first act." Behind her, a figure stood in shadow, Victor, smirking. They'd faked her death to eliminate me, to clear the path for whatever came next. But the video's final seconds chilled me to the bone. A flashback to the reunion night, the alley, the moment Lena died. In the background, a man watches. Not Victor, someone else. Someone I recognize. The screen cuts to black. The cabin. The cabin is where it all began. Lena's journal had mentioned it repeatedly. We'll burn it all there. I drove there tonight, the headlights slicing through the rain. The door creaked open. The smell of smoke clung to the air. In the living room, a flickering laptop played a looped video. Lena's face, her voice distorted. "You're not the only one who's been keeping secrets." The camera pans to a drawer. Inside, a photo of me, a young boy, and a man I've never seen. The caption reads, "Your father never knew." My hand shook. The man in the photo looked like Victor. A noise downstairs. Footsteps. Heavy, deliberate. The door slammed shut. The flames roared like a beast in the cabin. I stumbled backward, my breath ragged. as the walls crackled. Victor's voice echoed in the smoke. "You're not the target." The word sliced through me. Not the target? But why frame me? Why burn this place now? I clawed toward the laptop, still playing Lena's taunting video. The photo of me, a young boy, and Victor's face glared back. "Your father never knew." My hands trembled. Father? I'd never met him. He died in a car accident before I was born. A lie? The cabin's floorboards groaned. A hidden door? No, a trapdoor. The discovery of the trapdoor mirrors the surprises that change the direction of the story. Kneeling, I pried it open, the scent of mildew hitting me. Below, a staircase spiraled into darkness. Run, but the fire's heat pushed me downward. The basement was a vault of secrets. Files, photos, a ledger, pages of transactions, all labeled Project Legacy. One image stopped me cold. My birth certificate. The father's name wasn't the one I'd known. It was Victor's. "Is your father?" Lena had once joked. "You'd never believe how close you are to him." The truth gutted me. Victor wasn't just Lena's lover, he was my father. The man who'd orchestrated this entire nightmare to keep me in the dark. And Lena? She'd been his pawn, desperate for his wealth, willing to destroy us both. A floorboard creaked above. Victor's boots echoed. "Looking for this," he called, tossing down a folder. It thudded beside me, a DNA test confirming my lineage. "You think this changes anything?" I spat. "You're a monster." He laughed. "Monster? I'm your father, and you're about to learn what that means." The fire blocked the stairs. I sprinted through the basement, spotting an emergency exit a window. Shattering the glass, I crawled into the freezing night, the forest around the cabin swallowed by smoke. Victor emerged, his face lit by flames. "You'll never leave this place alive," he hissed. But I ran, my legs burning, until the trees thinned and headlights blinded me. A car. A figure stepped out, Detective Martinez, the one who cleared me earlier. "Get in," he growled. "Now." The drive was silent until he spoke. "Victor's been manipulating cases for years. This isn't about you, it's about him." He handed me a file. Inside, photos of Victor with politicians, judges, even my mother. She died months ago, peacefully, but the autopsy report told a different story. Poison. Victor had killed her. To silence her, or to force me into his orbit. The detective revelation mirrors George R. R. Martin's laid twist, where trust becomes a weapon. We returned to the cabin to confront Victor, but the scene was silent. The fire had died, the basement ashes. Yet, in the ruins, I found a final clue, a locket with a photo of Victor and a toddler me. He'd loved my mother, until she discovered his crimes and refused to stay silent. Her death was his warning. And now, with me alive, he'd finished what he started. The next morning, Detective Martinez called. "Victor's gone, but check your email." The inbox held a message. "You'll never escape your blood." Attached was a video of my younger brother, the boy in the cabin photo, being led into an abandoned warehouse. His face was pale, terrified. "Let me go," he whispered. "She's not worth it." The warehouse door ignited behind me, the flames a grotesque backdrop to Victor's game. My brother's terrified eyes locked onto mine. The photo in his hand, a faded image of Victor and my mother, taken years before I was born, held the key. The Atreides never win. It was a code, a reference to the Dune novel Victor had obsessed over as a child. He'd manipulated every detail. My birth, my mother's death, even my friendship with Lena, who'd been paid to keep me close. The accident that killed my mother was staged to make me vulnerable. Victor wanted an heir, someone to inherit his empire of lies. My brother, the product of Victor's affair with another victim, was the insurance. If I refused to play, he'd die. If I complied, I'd become like him. The warehouse's walls echoed with Victor's taunts. "Choose." I lunged for my brother, but Victor's henchmen blocked me. We fought, blows exchanged, the air thick with smoke. My brother stumbled toward a filing cabinet, its drawers bursting with files labeled Project Legacy. Among them, a video of Victor poisoning my mother, a ledger of bribed officials, and a birth certificate proving my brother was also his son. "Run!" I screamed, tackling the henchman. My brother fled, the files clutched to his chest. Victor lunged, but I hurled the photo of him and my mother. It struck him like a blade. "You loved her," I hissed. "Why kill her?" His smile faltered. "She threatened to expose me. You think I'd let that happen twice?" The warehouse trembled as the roof collapsed. I shoved my brother through a side door, then turned to face Victor. "You lose," I spat. "The truth's out. They'll never believe your lies." He laughed, but his eyes were hollow. "You think this ends here?" The answer came in a blinding flash. Police sirens wailed outside. Detective Martinez had leaked the files to the press. Victor's empire crumbled. The trial was a spectacle. The video of my mother's murder, the DNA evidence, my brother's testimony all condemned him. Lena, now a fugitive, sent one final message. "You'll never escape him. He's everywhere." My brother and I stood at my mother's grave, the June quote etched into her headstone. "She knew," he said, tears streaming. She left clues in old letters. I found them after Victor's arrest. We buried Victor's obsession with secrets, but the ache remained the knowledge that trust is a fragile thing. The reunion hall reopened this year, its renovation scrubbing away the past. I sat alone, the friendship bracelet, now mine again, around my wrist. Lena's name was nowhere in the guest book, but the fire that night, it didn't consume the truth. It purified it.